Thanks for joining us for another episode of Battle for the Belt. Today I'm with Dr. Shawn Conley, and if you haven't noticed in the background, I am not in Ohio today. I'm at the University of Wisconsin Madison, where Shawn Conley is the soybean and small grain agronomist.
Well, welcome to Wisconsin. Glad to have you here, Laura.
Yeah, good to be here. So, Shawn, since you're doing a Battle for the Belt episode, you have to wear your
excellent.
Battle for the Belt hat.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, it's got a nice black O, so you might have to turn.
Oh, there we go.
Turn to the side.
Maybe I'll put it up like that so it looks a little bit better.
Yeah, yeah. So, Shawn, I know planting day is really important, and it's something you've worked on a lot in Wisconsin. So, Battle for the Belt, our big question is, what do you plant first, corn or soybean?
Well, that's a good question, Laura. And what we've really been able to figure out here in Wisconsin is we're really trying to get farmers to start planting their soybeans roughly a week before their corn. If you look in southern Wisconsin, across the bottom part of the state, roughly May 1 is like that peak period where we really start to see maximum yield. And after that first few days in May is when we start to see that yield loss really quickly happen on the corn side of things. So if we can really target farmers to plant between that April 10th, 15th, and the 25th, and then switch over to corn and then plant corn till they're finished and then come back and finish beans, I think that's the best thing for most of our soybean and corn growers in Wisconsin to be able to maximize yield and profitability.
So I need to hear you say, are you team corn or team soybean?
I'm totally team soybean. If I wish I could be like Aaron Rodgers right here and just wear the belt and be really fired up to wear that team soybean.
All right. So why do you plant soybeans first? What's the reasoning?
There's a few good reasons. First of all, I think there's a misconception among farmers and CCAs out there that actually I just talked to someone from northern Minnesota this morning and said, oh, the base temperature for soybean is 60 degrees Fahrenheit. No, actually, a lot of people have thought it was 50. Well, if you look in the literature, the base temperature for soybean germination emergence is 48 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's actually less than that of corn. And again, if you go out there and you think about planting soybean, it has a shorter window for imbibitional chilling than corn does. And frankly, if you do have a challenge with soybean establishment and you lose 30% of your population in soybeans, you can still max out yield. You try doing that in corn, and what are you going to be doing? You're going to be replanting the whole field. So there's a lot of good options for doing that on the soybean side of things.
Yeah, and that matches our observations in Ohio. When we plant really early, the first week of April, we'll see populations drop pretty low, maybe 70, 80,000 plants per acre. But if we leave it go, those soybeans can branch out and reach maximum yield.
Yeah, and that's really what we're seeing here in Wisconsin too. And we don't actually, our threshold is 50,000 plants per acre. If you're in a decent soil, which I'm assuming most of these early beans are going into, well-drained, highly productive soils, 50,000 is our threshold to do anything. I mean, you don't even touch that stand at above 50. And between 50, that's where you basically fill in or replant in distal sections, but never tear up the entire field. Just spot it in and rock and roll, because that, even though at 40,000 you might have out there, and you know this, Laura, has a higher yield potential on a per plant basis than those plants you establish 3 weeks later.
Absolutely, and come August, it looks the same. They just fill in and you can't tell the difference.
Yeah, they fill in, you can't tell the difference. They mature about the same time, and really, there's really not any challenges. And usually what I see here from farmers is, oh, well, I was going to leave a check, but I looked at my yield monitor and it all looks the same color, so we must be good.
Yep. All right, anything else you want to add, Shawn?
No, I think just I want to encourage farmers to really think and look into it. And actually, I just put out a tweet today really looking at the Midwest. And if you look from Ohio, Illinois, Iowa, almost every state has a higher than normal planting of soybeans than normal this time of year. If you looked at Illinois, I think it was 25% of the beans are in, which is crazy to me. But obviously, they'll listen to us that, you know, the belt should go with soybeans.
Go team soybean.
Go team soybean.
Hello everyone, Matt Davis here at the Northwest Research Station for my second installment of Battle for the Belt planting. Today is April 26th and we are here in the corn plot. Corn and soybeans went in yesterday afternoon for our second installment. Soil temperatures were again in the upper 50s, I believe 57.5. Honestly, the planting date 2 weeks ago planted a little better. I think the soil conditions were a little damper this last time. So we'll wait and see what happens. As an emergence update, none of the first planting date was up in either the corn or the soybeans. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Stay tuned.
Hi, it's Joe Davlin again at the Western Ag Research Station in South Charleston. We're doing the Battle of the Belt second plant date today. Corn and soybean ground was a lot better than it was 2 weeks ago. The seed depth was a lot drier, probably averaging 70 degrees Fahrenheit with our soil temperature at the 2-inch depth. And 2 weeks ago we made the first plant date, and the beans are starting to crack through the ground, and the corn is really close to spiking through the ground. So we're making some progress. So stay tuned to see what else goes on this year at the Western Ag Research Station with the Battle of the Belt.
Hi everyone, I am Mosler Ortez, a state corn specialist at Ohio State, and I am reporting today from Wooster, Ohio. We just got planted our second planting date in our Battle for the Belt project. We got corn in that side of the field, we got soybeans in this side of the field. A little bit wetter than what we would have preferred, but we had to go with it, trying to stay ahead of the rain that we are forecasted for this weekend. So we will see what results we can get from this experiment, and certainly 3 more planting dates to go, sometime between May and June. So just invite you to stay tuned and watch for results coming later on.